Hello everyone, I'm going to do a few more Zen Tales. This is Zen Tales 6, which is the penultimate one. There'll be one more after this probably. Then we might move on to some Sufi tales. So I've just got one or two short tales today. The first is moving to a new town. So two men visit a Zen master. The first man says, "I'm thinking of moving to this town. What's it like?" The Zen master asks, "What was your old town like?" The first man responds, "It was dreadful. Everyone was hateful. I hated it." The Zen master says, "This town is very much the same. I don't think you should move here." The first man leaves and the second man comes in. The second man says, "I'm thinking of moving to this town. What's it like?" The Zen master asks, "What was your old town like?" The second man responds, "It was wonderful. Everyone was friendly and I was happy. I was just interested in a change now." The Zen master says, "This town is very much the same. I think you will like it here." So it's not the actual place, it's your attitude of mind. Someone can live in a terrible surroundings and be happy. Vice versa, someone can live in a palace and be miserable. It's all an attitude and state of mind. And the second is the four candles. Not the four candles of the two Ronnies, the comedy sketch. This is a different one. So four monks decided to meditate silently without speaking for 2 weeks. They lit a candle as a symbol of their practice and began. By nightfall, on the first day, the candle flickered and then went out. The first monk said, "Oh no, the candle is out." The second monk said, "We're not supposed to talk." The third monk said, "Why must you two break the silence?" The fourth monk laughed and said, "Ha, I'm the only one who didn't speak." So it's very difficult to be silent, especially when there's people together. Try being silent for a long period in company. It's very difficult, very uncomfortable, unless you're with someone totally in tune with. The next is the man who said yes. A man went to a Buddhist monastery for a silent retreat. After he finished, he felt better, calmer, stronger, but something was missing. The teacher said he could talk to one of the monks before he left. The man thought for a while, then asked, "How do you find peace?" The monk said, "I say yes to everything, everything that happens. I say yes." When the man returned home, he was enlightened. So in those days, it was much easier to get enlightened, especially for a monk, because their minds were totally focused on becoming enlightened. So they latched onto everything. The minds weren't distributed over lots of different things like our minds are. They were just thinking of this one great matter, which was to reach enlightenment and understanding. But there was one lady who, when she was walking along with a bucket of water, the bottom fell into the bucket and all the water shot out, and she became enlightened just by that act. But it just needed that one thing to awaken her. And people may have been striving for many lives towards that point anyway. But it just needs a little bit for the process to be finished. But this man was just very positive about everything. He looked upon everything in a positive way. So he said yes to everything. You might say, well, there are certain things you can't say yes to, but this is just symbolic of a very positive and optimistic mindset. And the last is the crystal cup. A Zen master was given a beautifully crafted crystal cup. It was a gift from a former student. He was very grateful. Every day he enjoyed drinking out of his glass. He would show it to visitors and tell them about the kindness of his student. But every morning he held the cup in his hand for a few seconds and reminded himself, this glass is already broken. One day, a clumsy visitor toppled the glass on its shelf. The cup fell down. When it hit the floor, it was smashed into thousands of tiny pieces. The other visitors gasped in shock, but the Zen master remained calm. Looking at the mess in front of his feet, he said, "Ah, yes, let's begin." Because he realised that although he loved the cup and it was beautiful, he knew that one day something would happen to it. That's what life's all about, isn't it? The transitory nature of life, the fragility of life. In Japan, it's known as mono no aware, which signifies the kind of beauty of life, but also the poignancy that things never last, that life is transitory. But we can still find beauty while it lasts, beauty in everything. So that was the end of my Zen tales, but I'd just like to do a very short Sufi story, which I find quite amusing. And this is a preview of what I'll be doing next after the Zen. This is called The Wrong Side. A local man engaged Nasruddin. Now, Nasruddin was a Sufi sage. So a local man engaged Nasruddin in some futile philosophical discussion. In the midst of the deliberation, the man posed a question to Nasruddin. Why does it always happen like this, he said, that whenever one tosses a buttered piece of bread in the air, it always falls on the buttered side? Nasruddin wanted to test this out, to end the discussion. He got a piece of bread, buttered one side, and then tossed it in the air. It landed on the unbuttered side. He exclaimed, "There goes your theory. The bread has fallen on the unbuttered side." But the other man, just like other debaters, was undeterred. He replied, "You made a mistake, Nasruddin. You buttered the wrong side." So that was showing sometimes the futility and the pointlessness of just philosophical discussions which get nowhere, help no one. Whereas we should be thinking about how we can practice live the life, practice the life, and help others by that, rather than just engaging in discussions that mean nothing. So there are my little tales for today. Hope you enjoyed them and got something from them. And until we meet again, Om Shanti, 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 peace, 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 peace on earth and goodwill to all beings. Namaste. The divine in me always greets the divine in you. Thank you.